كل ضلالة في النار. To proceed. Tonight, the night of the 30th of the month of Rabi'ul Awwal, we are reading the remaining part of the statement of Shaykh Ubaid Al-Jabiri Hafidhahullah wa Ra'ah in regard to the issue that Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala mentioned in his Risala, which is Usool As-Sunnah. Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, he say, وَمَنْ تَرَكَ الصَّلَاةَ فَقَدْ كَفَرَ. Whoever abandoned the salah has indeed disbelieved. وَلَيْسَ مِنَ الْأَعْمَالِ شَيْئًا, and there is nothing from the actions. تَرْكُهُ كُفْرٌ, that abandoning it is kufr, إِلَّا الصَّلَاةِ, except the salah. مَنْ تَرَكَهَا فَهُوَ كَافِرٌ وَقَدْ أَحَلَّ اللَّهُ قَتْلَهُ, that whoever abandoned the salah is a disbeliever, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made permissible of his killing. Shaykh Ubaid ibn Abdullah ibn Jabir Hafidhahullah tabaraka wa ta'ala, he mentioned Hafidhahullah in regard to this issue. He say tariku salah lahu halatan, that the person abandoning the salah has two issues, or two particular matters that are to be made a mention of. Number one, he say ihdahuma, number one. Which was number one? Who remembers it? Number one. We only dealt with number one. Huh? Who remember? Abdullah, naam. Wafikum Allah barakum. Very good. No, not juhudan. Not juhudan. Whoever abandoned the salah? Jahilan. Right, jahilan. Juhudan was the issue where we dealt with the statement of Imam Ahmad, Imam Al-Shafi'i, Imam Malik, and Imam Abu Hanifa, as we'll come to this. But here we are talking about with the explanation of Shaykh Ubaid Al-Jabiri Hafidhahullah. So he mentioned that the person or the abandonment of the salah is in regard to two issues. He said the first one was that an yatrukaha, that the person abandoned the salah jahlan, out of ignorance. He abandoned the salah out of ignorance. يظن أن الواجب عليه هو الشهادتين فقط, thinking or believing that, and the person abandoned the salah out of ignorance. He only believed that the shahadatain are the only thing that is an obligation upon him. So he believed that the salah amrun كغيرها من العبادات التي لم تفرض. He said he believed that the salah and other aspects of worship is not an obligation, but the only thing that is that's an obligation is the shahadatain. So he said here, this individual jahil, he is ignorant about this. And as we mentioned last week, you have people that are like this. They don't, for them, it is just to say, I'm a Muslim, to say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, that is it. For them, they believe in this. For them, they believe that that's it. They don't have to pray, they don't have to fast, they don't have to do nothing. It's just like they have to abandon, let's say, eating pork and drinking khamr. That's it. And when you go to a certain area in Senegal, you find these people like that. For them, it's just like, I believe, I'm not a disbeliever no more. Ashhadu la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, that is it. Right? Don't eat pork no more, don't drink khamr no more. For them, they are anything else, that's not, it's not nothing to be done. It's not an obligation. As long as you ascribe yourself to Islam, that is it. So he say, such an individual like this, the Shaykh Hafidhahullah mentioned, he say, فَهَذَا حَقُّهُ أَنْ يُعْرَفْ, and this individual, his right, barakallah fikum, is that he is to be taught. He is to be taught, he is to be given, barakallah fikum, the proper information in regard to the wujub of the salah. He is to be taught. So he will know the obligation of the salah. وأن يبين له بما يكشف عنه جهله. And likewise, it is to be clarified for him that which will remove his ignorance. Number one is he is to be taught. Number two, it is that anything that is pertaining to his ignorance, those doubts, it is barakallahu fikum that it is to be removed. We remove barakallahu fikum. We are to be barakallahu fikum removing those doubts after clarifying the adillah, after giving him the dalil of the obligation of the salah. The next move is to what? To clarify those ambiguity that could be in his heart, to remove him out of his ignorance. Now, if he prays, فَإِن صَلَّى فَهُوَ مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, if he prays, he is among the Muslims. لَهُ مَا لِلْمُسْلِمِينَ, and he has the rights that the Muslim has. And we mentioned this last week about the rights of the Muslims. And if he does not pray, وَعَلَيْهِ مَا عَلَيْهِمْ, and if he doesn't pray, it is against him, or it is for him what is applicable for the one that abandoned the salah. So he mentioned the second hal, the second situation is أن يتركها عالما بوجوبها. The second issue for the one that abandoned the salah, we say the first one was a person is jahilan biwujub al-salah. He is ignorant of the obligation of the salah. But the second hal, so for this person that is ignorant, there is two things to be done. Number one, it is to teach him the dalil, to tell him the dalil, the adillah. Number two is to clarify what will remove him out of ignorance. Right? To clarify what will remove him out of ignorance. For the second situation, al-halu thaniya, the second situation in regard to the person that abandoned the salah, it is barakallahu fikum that the person an yatrukaha aliman, that he abandoned the salah while he is knowledgeable biwujubiha, while he is knowledgeable of the obligation of the salah. He say, ya'lam wujubiha, he knows that the salah is an obligation. The person, he knows that it is an obligation. لَكِنَّهُ تَرَكَهَا, but he abandons it. He abandons it. وَهَذَا, and for this second issue, وَهَذَا لَهُ حَالَتَانِ, and for the second issue, for the abandonment of the salah, is of two matters or two situations. So we say that the person abandoning the salah, it is of two categories of people. First category is the person that abandoned the salah out of ignorance of the obligation of the salah. That's number one. For that one, it is clear that you teach him about give him the dalil, give him the reminder of the salah. The second issue, barakallah, is that you make it clear of that which could take his ignorance away from him. This was the first one. The second one is that the person, barakallah fikum, abandoning the salah aliman biwujubiha. He abandoned the salah while being knowledgeable that the salah is an obligation. Ya'lam wujubiha, he knows the obligation of the salah. Lakinnahu tarakaha, but he abandons it. So for the one that knows the obligation of the salah and yet he abandoned it, it is of two type of people or two situation. Number one, أن يتركها جاحدا, that he is abandoning the salah out of denial. Out of denial. So out of denial. بل الجاحد للصلاة لو عملها ما نفعته فلا بد من علمها مع اعتقاد بوجوبها. Very important point. He said, as the individual that denied the salah, even if he will pray, it's not gonna be of no avail for him. It's not gonna be of no benefit for him, even if he prays. Why? Because he is denying. He is abandoning it, or he is even doing it out of denial. So he say it is a must. Fala Buddha. It is a must. Min amaliha, from meaning doing the action of the salah, ma'a i'tiqad wujubiha, to have the belief of the obligation of the salah. In other words, it is not enough that just for the person to pray. It's not enough for just the person to pray. But rather he must believe that the salah is an obligation. It's not enough for the person to pray. But rather he has to have the belief that it's an obligation. Why is it not an obligation upon the Sibiyan to be praying? A Sabi. Right? Why is it not for the Majnoon? Why is it not an obligation upon the mad person, meaning a person that is mentally challenged? Why is not for him an obligation to fast? Because adamun niyyah, not having the what? The intention. Likewise, the person, the sabi that pray, he might be praying, barakallahu fikum, not knowing whether it is an obligation or not. Even if he say it's an obligation, but does he really know what is an obligation? How do you define an obligation? Because you and I, barakallahu fikum, we will say, what is the ma'ana? Ma ma'ana al-wujub. This is an important thing that even us, if we were to say shay'un wajib, this is an obligation. What is the meaning of that? That this is an obligation. What is the meaning of that, Amir?
Allah told us that we have to do it. He prescribed it for us.
Not necessarily. There are things that Allah prescribed for us, but yet it's not from the wujub. Very good. That means that is the wujub. An obligation is the one doing it will be rewarded, but the one abandoning it will be subjected to a uquba punishment. Ma yuthabu fa'iluhu wa yu'aqibu tarikuhu. Ma yuthabu fa'iluhu wa yu'aqibu tarikuhu. For the one that does it, he will be rewarded. And the one abandons it, he will be what? He will be punished. Now, does barakallahu fikum, a person that say, oh, salah is wajib, does he understand really this is the meaning of al-wujub? Or, akhi, this is wajib. Right? And many times we be saying these words loosely. Right? Oh, this is wajib. No, that means if you don't do it, you'll be held, what? Accountable. Let's say the person, akhi, it's wajib for you to wear the kufi. No, don't say that, akhi. Right? It's like you don't wear the kufi, you are sinful. You don't wear the kufi, you are what? Sinful. You're gonna be punished for that. La. Tayyib.